This has definitely been the hardest bourbon hunting experience I've ever had. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskyier. I am still in Mississippi doing my Air Force Reserve time, and I got the day off. Let's go do some bourbon hunting. All right, so there's really no rhyme or reason to today's bourbon hunt. I'm just gonna go to any store that I see liquor in front of and we're gonna stop in. This is right outside of the military base, not even half a mile. I'm at BM Liquor and Wine. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go down this road and just find liquor stores. And also I'm dressed like this because I'm gonna go golfing. It's the off day. We'll see you inside.
12 seconds later.
And never mind. First stop said no, they do not want a camera and asked me to leave. So we'll head to the next one. Have you ever wanted to make perfectly round and clear ice balls at home? Well, let me introduce you to today's video sponsor. This is the eCozy Sphere Ice Maker. Now, this is the fastest sphere ice maker on the market. It can make 4 balls in 40 minutes. And it can make a total of 144 ice balls in 24 hours. Let's take a look at what we've made so far today. Check that out. Inside, I've got a tray full of these ice balls. Let's take one out and get a whiskey poured up. Take a look at how clear this is. You can even see my hand behind it. Let's get the bourbon of choice poured up. I'm gonna go with this last bit of Hancock's President's Reserve. There we go. Cheers. So if you're interested in making the perfect whiskey ice balls at home, make sure you check out the link below. I'll be sure to add it in the description. Thank you so much to eCozy for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. Right next to Rouse's Sipology Wine and Spirits. All right, so we made it inside, got permission, and now we're gonna take a look at the whiskey shelf. It's pretty extensive. They got a good bit of stuff. That is one of the coolest Old Fitz display things I've ever seen. It's got the mirror in the background on each side. I'd love to have something like that in the house. Who do I gotta know to get one of these? All right, we're gonna check out the shelves. I'm gonna go from my right all the way then to the left. I thought this was pretty cool, right off rip. A slam dunk Maker's Cask Strength for $46.99. I'm gonna be honest, I probably do a good bit more bourbon hunting than the average Joe, especially since having a channel. And I probably only run across these slam dunks like maybe 5 times out of hundreds of stores by now. So I think that's always cool to see. And again, I'm really not too sure how rare they are these days, but I hear that the employees are allowed to do it once every so often during a shift. If you know more info, let me know. But right next to it, check this out. They got the brand new wood finishing series. That's the Keepers 2025. $102 on that one. February. So I'm guessing there's 2 different months on this one, just like last year's Heart Release. Last year's Heart Release was the April and June. Personally, I preferred the April release. It was a little bit better to me. So I'm not sure exactly what months are on this one, but they have that one in store. Benchmark, looks like just top 4 single barrel. I did some bourbon hunting the other day, and I don't even remember if I saw anything different besides these right here. Similar, when I was in Colorado, Benchmark was there, but they only had the Benchmark 8, which is this right here. The standard bottle, $14. My favorites are the single barrel and foolproof, so if this is all they do carry here in Mississippi, I would go for this one all day and be a happy man. Under $30, it's a great bottle. Some of the Old Forester products there, 1910, 1897, 1920. Got a barrel proof Elijah Craig, A125, 10 years, 7 month, 118 proof for $83.48. Next to pretty much the standard offering of Elijah Craig's as well. That's actually a pretty solid price for this little box gift set. You get the Barrel Vantage, Seagrass, and Batch 36, all for $64.99. Pretty much sampler bottles, but I think that's pretty cool. I love to see when stores carry these, especially around the holiday time, which we aren't there yet, so nice to see it in the summer. There it is, OESK, $52.99. These are single barrels, but this one released this year with your recipes on the neck label right here, and this just so happened to be my favorite of the recipes that came out this year. Done a couple of head-to-heads in the same category-ish. So we took like a Weller single barrel, a Blanton single barrel, and a couple others which are, I know they're Blanton's and Weller secondary pricing, but we took around the same MSRP, did a blind, and this ended up coming in second place. Those are just a couple of the other single barrels that it went against, but it really is a great whiskey. Got Calumet 15 and 16. I'm gonna be honest, I think that I have had one of these. I don't remember which one it was, but I wanna try the 16. Like I really, really do. I don't think that's a crazy bad price for a 16-year-old whiskey. Nowadays, most companies like your Pappy, obviously, and especially when Wild Turkey came out with the Russell's 15 this year, it was a $250 price tag. So companies are raising the prices definitely whenever it comes to older whiskey. So I think 172 bucks for a 16-year-old juice, it's not that bad. But I do want to know, if you've tried it, is it worth it? A couple of the rabbit holes, Cave Hill, High Gold, Derringer. Y'all have always said Derringer's the one to get if you do get some rabbit hole. Regular Redwood Empire Pipe Dream, $44.49. Out of the non-cash shrink labels, that's my favorite one. And the Bottle to Bond, of course, is my all-time favorite. But Old Grandad 114 next to Old Grandad Bonded and Green River Wheated Bourbon. Some Noble Oak, it's bourbon whiskey finished with sherry oak staves, 90 proof, and distilled in Indiana. I don't really know much about Noble Oak. I do really enjoy their label. It's simple, it looks nice, and it's pretty good price for what it is. But if you've had it, let me know. I do have this bottle at home, and it's actually really a shocker in my opinion. Pendleton Straight Bourbon 10-year for 50 bucks. It's really, really good. It's got a nice finish to it as well. It's pretty sweet, good looking bottle too. I don't remember the proof though, what is it? 90 proof, distilled in Indiana. So this Pendleton though, I am a big fan. I was sent a bottle of it and thoroughly enjoy it. Still to this day, I love to sip it neat or have it with some Coke. That 10-year complexity with some Coca-Cola, awesome. Almost passed up the Penelope. Starting all the way to the left, you got the standard 4-grain, you got rosé, wheated, toasted, barrel strength, and Architect. And this is the makeup of that specific Architect batch. So not as vanilla, but more on the fruit on the palate. There we go. $71.99 for that one. Oak and Edens, this one is really, look at the difference in color between this one. Super, super dark. That oak spire's probably been in there for a while. Wheat and French oak, and then this one is toasted oak. Standard Michter selection. There's a Larceny, $68.98, A125. I believe this is the one that I recently bought and took it home, A125, because I wanted to see if the couple of store picks I had were just phenomenal or if they're really that much better than the regular batches that come out. And I will say this was really, really good, but it's nowhere near as good as those single barrels that Larson is coming out with. I really think they did an amazing thing by opening up their single barrel program. Bibb and Tucker, shout out to cousin Jacob, man. He was going crazy for this Bibb and Tucker. He said it is a sleeper pick. He even put it in his top 5 if he could buy it on the shelf. Old Dominic, this is their Tennessee whiskey. So we were here back in April for the Bourbon Block Party. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure you go check that out. We were up in Brandon, Mississippi, and Old Dominic actually came out, set up a tent. They had a single barrel pick in the store, but they were tasting some of their offerings, and they were all very good. It's good craft whiskey. However, their Tennessee whiskey was hands down my favorite. I would love to do a barrel pick of their cash strength Tennessee whiskey very soon. That reminds me, I need to reach out to them, see if we can make that happen. Here's a couple of the Starlight. I still have yet to try anything from Starlight. They have a couple of flavors, so the peach, the blackberry, but this is the Bottled and Bond. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this is not actually MGP. It's a true Indiana distillery that makes their own. Family owned and farmed. So yeah, $63.49 for their Bottled and Bond. I'm just not sure if that's the right one to grab for my first time trying anything from their distillery. You guys let me know. I also saw this one earlier right before I turned the camera on. Label caught my eye. The Grove Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished with oak staves. $115.49. Complex spirit ripe with notes of black walnut, fig syrup, vanilla, and brown sugar. Lexington, Kentucky, 108 proof. Sounds pretty interesting, but I've never actually seen that in a store before. You got Crittenden's as well, right up the road. I think it's about like 40-ish, maybe 35 minutes from here. Kiln, Mississippi is the Crittenden's distillery. I'm actually gonna be heading there tomorrow. Matt Crittenden invited me out. We're gonna do some cool stuff with some barrels, and I'm excited, but these are the options that they have here in store, right next to one of my favorite Louisiana brands, the Whiskey Tree. And I think that the rye's been getting a lot of hype, But my personal favorite is this weeded right here in the Whiskey Tree lineup. It is has been one of my go-tos for a while now. And more recently, I've been putting it in old fashions. I know it's not the cheapest whiskey in the world to put in an old fashioned, but it is hands down the best. Then you got some Bywater and a couple other regular shelf offerings. Here's a couple of things that they have also behind the counter. That's the World Whiskey Society Ducks Unlimited. I still think this is one of the coolest looking bottles on the market. Not sure about the whiskey inside, but even if you finish it, you can put your own favorite whiskey in here afterwards for 100 bucks. I think it's really cool. Another one of the keepers, let's see if this is also, yep, also February of 25. Henry McKenna Bottled and Bond for 77 bucks. And then Heaven Hill Grain to Glass, that's the rye, next to a couple of K. Luke. I believe K. Luke's also Mississippi. I know he doesn't distill his own, but Jonathan Mazzano used to own a liquor store here, then started K. Luke. There's another Booker's 2404. I've kind of seen that batch at quite a few places in the past couple of states, but 115 on that one. And the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend 308, batch 369. All right, heading out from Sipology. I gotta say, that was a pretty cool little store. It looks pretty brand new in there as well. Overall, a solid selection. Honestly, one of the better ones that I've seen since being in Mississippi. I'm finding out a lot about the state. I remember Philip with Cajun's Cut Distillery let me know that Mississippi is super expensive to get into. Like, if a distillery wants to get in there, their bottle prices are more than likely going to be higher in the state of Mississippi. That's just how it is. Regular Buffalo Trace, like standard Buffalo Trace, is pretty allocated here. So I'm not sure if we're going to see super allocated things, but that's okay. That's not what this channel is really about. I just want to go find good local stores and spots for people that are passing through. So yeah, that was Sipology Wine and Spirits. I thought Rouse's might have a different little rule when it comes to liquor, but even they can't sell liquor here in Mississippi, so we'll go to the next spot. See you there. All right, this is pretty interesting. So the next spot is Prince Wine and Liquor, but if you look, I could still see Sipology. It is literally a parking lot over, and we are at our next spot, Prince Wine and Liquor. We'll see you inside.
5 minutes later.
Never mind. They asked for no cameras inside while the owner was not there. So I think there's definitely a few more stores up the road. We're gonna go see if somebody will let us in. So far, I am 1 for 2. One store let us film, 2 did not. Back to the road. Okay, I think there's a liquor store every half mile on this street. We're at Stir, Spirits and Fine Wines. Made it inside Stir. Beautiful little shop. They got a lot of wine, wine focus, but they do have pretty solid whiskey selection from what I'm seeing so far. Got Cooper's Craft right here. One of the first stores I've actually seen that in. We did see it in the last video, I think only once, but 37 bucks for 100 proof whiskey. You guys know by now how much I love that. Koval, something. Oh yes, I have seen this. Distilled in Chicago. Every time I see that, I don't think there's many distilleries in Chicago, so now I know. Got a Larceny A125, some Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A125. 80 bucks for that one, solid. Elijah Craig Toasted Paul Sutton, $74.99. I've had a Paul Sutton before. This one is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 100 proof, aged 6 years, so 6-year age stated, and distilled and bottled. So I didn't know actually that Paul Sutton makes their own juice. It's pretty cool. I've had one with my buddy Joe actually. He has a local liquor store that does kind of a membership club. And once a month they go and get their goodie bags, and that was in his goodie bag was a Paul Sutton, and I liked it. Joe, you gotta let the fans know down below. Did you enjoy that one? Old Granddad 114, some of the Michter stuff. There's that Bibb and Tucker again. This one is the Classic 6, 92 proof, notes of vanilla, chestnut, 6 years old, and distilled in Tennessee, bottled by Bibb and Tucker. Okay. I'm gonna check one of those out for Cousin Jake eventually. I haven't seen this in a little bit. I did get to try this. This is the K. Luke Finishing Cab Cask, 117.4 proof. I actually got to try this here in Mississippi on the way to the Spillway event back in April. It was really good. Like, if you're a Midwinter's Night Strand fan, that's probably competitive, I think, a little bit better, and it had a much better finish overall too. I think Mississippi might be the land of Bookers. The land of Bookers, $106.99. Every single store that we've been into carries Bookers. It's pretty crazy. It's a few of the Starlights again, pretty much the same. From what I've seen so far, $57.99 for the bottled and bond. Crittenden's bottled and bond right there. I like this little bottle. What is this? Rattle and Snap Tennessee Straight Whiskey. Oh, we got a little thing right here too on the tag. Classic sour mash aged to perfection over 4 years, allowing notes of vanilla, nutmeg, and spice come to fruition for a long-lasting sweet finish. Recommended for cocktail use, but can be enjoyed by itself. Okay, so they recommend this to go in a cocktail. You guys had this or anything from them? All right, I got a question. When it comes to bottom shelfers, there's got to be one of these that is actually kind of good that I've never had or that you love. Which one is it out of these? I gotta know. Very cool spot, man. Husband was actually working the counter. He said it's his wife's store and he's just filling in for the day. But yeah, solid selection, solid pricing, and really cool ownership from what it seemed like. I'm really on the hunt right now for like a good craft distillery that I have yet to come across, like, or a Crittenden's that I can't find in Louisiana. Something awesome here in Mississippi. I think we got one more stop in me. I got one more stop. The golf course is calling my name. So there is a store, from what I remember going to dinner the other night, right up the road. It looks pretty large. It looks brand new, unless I'm crazy. See you at the next one. All right, so I was mistaken. It was not, I don't know. Maybe I saw something different when I made a different turn. Not the liquor store I was looking for, but literally maybe a mile up the road. We're here at Corked Wine and Liquor.
12 seconds later.
Never mind. Corked Wine and Liquor, no filming whatsoever inside. So this has definitely been the hardest bourbon hunting experience I've ever had. A lot of stores just don't let you film inside, which they have every right to. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people think there's no way people don't let you film. It happens not a lot, but today, more than they have let me film. We got to go find one more spot. I'm going to start heading back towards base. I think there are at least a couple of stores on this side of the road, so we'll go hit them up. Made it to the last stop. This is literally my last hope because it is steps. I mean, walking distance from the gate of the base, which is going back home for me. So last little hope that they let us film inside and show you the selection. Maybe it's a little hidden gem, who knows? But let's go check it out. So here's some of the whiskey here at Skyler's. A couple of the standard stuff. They got the Jack Daniel's bonded, 33 bucks right there. A couple of some Evan Williams, Wild Turkey, Makers, small batch. Got Makers cash drinks right here. Any slam? No slam dunks, just pretty much the standard. The 46, look at that old box of Jack Daniel's, pretty cool. Some Buffalo Trace, $89.99. $89.99 for that barrel. And then Nika, $68.99. One thing that I noticed and found pretty interesting though, is this bottle. And I'm actually gonna take it home with me. The original, the older Redbreast 12-year. It's the old bottle, old box even. I've never seen one of these before and they got quite a few of them. So we'll take one of these home. I think that's pretty interesting and not something that you see every day. All right, leaving Skyler's, 90 bucks for Buffalo Trace. That was pretty high. But I did grab something. Let's hop in the car and talk about this. Finally bought something in Mississippi since being here. Now, I could be completely wrong, so I'm gonna need every single one of your help. Did I just find an Old Dusty or not? Because my favorite, one of my favorite Irish whiskeys of all time, and by the way, I got started in Irish whiskey, is Redbreast 12. But I've never seen this box before. And when I pulled out the bottle, it does look pretty old. So let's go and check this out. All the Redbreast 12 that I've ever drank or seen comes in this. The box and bottle look like that. This box looks like this. And the bottle inside looks like this. Am I crazy, or is this an old dusty Redbreast 12? It was like 70 something bucks. I think after tax came out to 80, which is kind of what I normally pay. And for an old one, I just can't tell. It says 23-02-17. So does that mean this bottle's from 2017? But I'm stoked that we finally have a bottle of whiskey to bring back to the hotel room. And you know what? I'm gonna crack it open too. I'm gonna enjoy it because man, I have been wanting some whiskey in that dang hotel room, but haven't really bought it yet. And the reason I'm gonna crack it is because there was plenty here in this store. If this is in fact old, I'm depending on you guys to let me know so I can come back, grab one, bring it home for the shelf. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Redbreast and Irish whiskey, so it's kind of cool. Take me back to my roots. This has definitely not been an easy bourbon hunt, if you can tell. Quite a few stores said no, so we had 3 stores tell us no, 3 stores tell us yes. And before I head out, pretty much what happens is I go to the store, talk to the manager or talk to the owner before I film any content in their store, just to see if that's okay, to ask permission. I basically let them know I have a YouTube channel. I started it to help support local businesses, and it's just kind of taking off from there, thanks to you guys. And yeah, I just want to showcase what you guys have on the shelf. And majority of the time, people are okay with it, but for example, today, they were not okay with it. A lot of them said no cameras whatsoever. One even asked me to leave. So that's that, but stay tuned. I got some pretty exciting stuff planned while I'm here in Mississippi. We're gonna travel, go to different cities. It's gonna be an awesome time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.